Okay, let's start. So, friends, welcome to the channel, and today I'm going to show you how you can make a simple login and register page using Bootstrap. We'll also have a custom CSS file for some configuration. So let's get started. So my live server is already running, and you can see that I have three files here: login HTML, register HTML, and a CSS file. Let's start with login first. Okay, so the very first thing I will do is I'll go ahead and add a basic HTML boilerplate, and I'll just copy this section and add into my register page as well. Now I'll just go ahead and add the title. So this will be for register, and this will be for login. Let me just go ahead and refresh this page first. So you can see that the title has changed into login, which means my live server is working now. I'll go to Bootstrap 4 first and get the Bootstrap CSS link. So it should be here. Yeah, let me copy this, and I will add this to my login page. So let's start with adding some contents to our login page. I'll just go to resize this first. We don't need the Bootstrap tag anymore. And I'll add the link to my register page as well. Okay, so let's start with adding a div, which will have a class of container. And you know that is a Bootstrap class. After that, I'll add another div, and this will be my flex container. So I'll add here this d-flex, which stands for display flex, and I want my flex direction to be column, so I'll add here flex-column. I want the contents to be in the center, so I'll add here justify. That should be justify content center, and align dash items to the center with margin from all around should be 4. Save that. Let's add another div that we will use for customizing our form page. So I'll add classes later here. For now, I'll just go ahead and add the form. Inside my form, I'll go ahead and add some div with class of form group. And we won't use any label here. I'll just go ahead and add directly the input type text, and I'll use the placeholder for adding some text. So this will be for username. So you can see the username right here. And let me just copy this section as well. Paste here. This will be for our password, and for password. So let me just save that well. Next thing we need is div class, and inside this div class we'll add a checkbox. So this will be for input type checkbox, and I'll add here a text called remember me, just like you see in websites that uses checkbox remember me, so that the site can remember your sign in. I'll add a class here, and the class should be margin right, or mr-2, so we can see that it got some space. Next thing, I'll add here a button. So I'll add another div with form group, or instead I can just go ahead and directly add the button. So button, and I'll add here the text login. Sorry for the spelling mistake. class btn-primary. So let me save that out. Okay, and we'll add here a heading so the user can understand that this is a login page. So login. Now we'll add different Bootstrap classes to customize this page. So let's start with the login first. I'll add a class of text center. Let me save that here. Okay, and now we'll have to add few classes to customize the login section. Before that, I'll just add a class to our body. So we'll have a background color, so this would be bg info. If I save this, you can see the background of the page has been changed. Now this in the container after the first div, in the second div I'll add class of bg-light. So this will indicate our login section. We'll add a padding of 4th, which also reminds me that I need to have a little width in my login section, so I'll add a w-75. If I say this, you can see that it has a padding nice and has a width. I also remember that I need to add few classes to this input box so they will look nice. So let me go here and add Bootstrap classes form-control. Say that, and I'll just copy this section here. I said that, yeah, it's looking nice now, and I also want to add a text color to this form. So I'll add here inside this div text-secondary. So you can see the text color has been changed. The next thing I would like to add is shadow. So you can see that there is a little bit shadow underneath. If I add -lg, that would be a large shadow. Now next thing I need to add is rounded for making the corners rounded. If I add this, you see that the corners of the section has been a little bit rounded here. I don't like the login button that much here in the corners, so what I will do here is I'll add another button class. It would be btn-block. So this button will take the entire section. If I save this, you can see that it took entire section, and it reminds me that there should be a piece of text, a link to our register page. So I'll add here a paragraph and add class of text center because we want the text to be into the center. So what I'll do here is I'll write here don't have an account, which means if the user doesn't have an account, we'll provide him the registration link. So I'll add here anchor tag with an href, and I'll add the path of register page. So this would be register.html, and I will write here register, and close down my anchor tag. So let me save that here, and now I need to add two more classes to this button, so we will have a nice space. And the first will be margin-2, which stands for MT, means margin top 2, and MB, margin bottom -2. I save this. Now we can see that there is a nice space here, And sorry about that, if I just go ahead and increase the size of the window, there is a nice login page. It's also responsive, so you see that in mobile screen it will look like something like this. Okay, we'll add some icons to this input field so that the user will understand that this should go for the username, and this will be for password, and we'll add the icons to make the login page look more nicer. So for that case, I will add a script tag that I got from Font Awesome, and this is a starter kit. We use this starter kit to add Font Awesome icons in our pages. So let me save it here, and just right beneath my input tags I will add those icons that I need. And so for that I'll use the I tags, and I'll use some Font Awesome classes. So for my first icon I'll use the fa-user fa-lg. If I save this, for some reason the icon is not showing, but it is there. It's there. It's there. So if I copy, let me see what goes wrong here. Okay, so that's my group here. User. Oh, I made a spelling mistake here. So if I save it, now you can see a user icon. And to add a key icon, I go ahead and copy this section, paste it right beneath my second input tag, which is my password. And instead of fa-user, I'll add here fa-solid, and this, let me just remove this and write here fa-key. So if I save this, now you can see a key icon. The problem is that these icons are beneath my input tags. What I need to do is to make somehow adding these icons inside my username. And there are a lot of ways, but the way I do is I create a custom CSS file, and I try to make this input tag position to be relative and the position of my icon tags to be absolute, so that I can move them freely. So what I do here is I first add some CSS class to my parent form group class, and I'll add here input with icon. Same goes for the second group as well. Now we'll go and add our custom CSS file to this page. Sorry about that, I just dropped something. Okay, so let's add the custom CSS page here. So this will be icon dash settings .css. So let me save all first. I'll go ahead and copy this class name inside my icon .settings. I'll just paste it here. And now I have to add the position of this of the parent div to be relative. Save that. And now I will try to target the input boxes. So again, I'll just paste the input with icon class, and first I will try to target the text input classes. So text input boxes actually. So this will be type equals text, and I want the padding left to be 40 pixel because I want my text to start right from here, this section, and I want the icon to be placed at the left corner. So I'm moving the text to the left section in the right direction actually. And let me copy this again, and now I'll try to target the password input section, and the padding should be left 40 pixel. Now it's time to target the icon tags. So I'll go ahead and again I'll just remove this first, and inside my input with icon class I will target the I tag, and first I will try to change the position of this tags to be absolute because the parent container position is relative. So this is something you should remember, that if you want any tags or any block position to be absolute, you should have a parent container which is holding a position of relative. Then I will add top position, let's say how about 11 pixel, and left should be let's say 6 pixel, and this these few things are actually I have figured out previously. And now I will add padding left 4 pixel I guess, and padding should be top 4 pixel. I want to change the color of this icon, so I'll add here #CCC, and that will be a little bit of grayish color. So let me save it here, and now you can see that these icons are inside the boxes, however the text are over them. So what I will do here is I will just go ahead and increase the padding. Let's say how about 50 pixel would be nice. So 50. If I save it here, I think I need to add a little bit padding. What I will do here is, instead of 4 pixel to padding left and padding top, I'll just go ahead and add a global padding. So 4 pixel, or maybe how about 6 pixel. That should be perfectly fine. Save it here. Okay, so that's a little bit of working. So what did I miss here? Okay, so let me change this to 40 pixel again. 40 pixel and 40 pixel. Okay, so this doesn't work here. That will. If I save this, now you can see that the icons are separated from the text, and it gives looks like that the icons are inside the input text, where the reality is that these icons are holding a position of absolute, and by using the top left direction we can easily move these icons. Using global padding we can set a padding around the icons, and using the color we can change the color of the icons. So now if I just increase the size, you can see that this login page looks really nice. However, if you want, you can just go ahead and decrease a little bit of width. So I'll just go ahead and add W-50 to change the width. So if I go ahead and increase that, the login page will look like this. So instead of that, I will just go ahead and add 75. That will really looks nice in small screen. So our login page is ready. Now we just have to work on the register page. Okay, so let's start editing our register page. If I open the register page from this link, you will see nothing here because I haven't added anything here. What I will do here is that from this container section, I'll just go ahead and copy everything. So yeah, let me just copy everything and I will paste it right here. Since I will not use any icons in the register section, I don't need the Font Awesome Starter Kit, or I even don't need the custom CSS file. I will just go ahead and increase some from groups inside this register page, and I will also add few labels. So if I go ahead and save all, you can see that it looks like login page. And you know what, I'll just go back to the login page again, and you can see that it looks really nice here, but it doesn't have stylings of the register. I mean, if you just check, the login page has a background section, but the register page doesn't have that. So the thing we missed here is the background that the body is currently having. So again, I will add class of bg-info to my body, and if I save it, now you can see that same effect for our register page. Now we'll just have to customize this page to change this into a register page. So the first thing I will change obviously is the title. So this will be the register. Save it here, and now we'll add few labels and few more form groups. So let me just go ahead and first delete this password section, and I will just also remove this input with icon classes. We don't need that anymore. We even don't need the icons anymore, and we will still need this input type checkbox, because I want to add the terms and condition checking policy. So let me just first increase the form groups. Form group 2. So this should be for our, let's say, for our email, and this should be for our phone. This should be for our password section. So password, and again this should be for our retype password. Alright, now we'll add few labels here. So label, and for now this should be empty. We can change that later. I'll add here username, and I will just go ahead and copy this label and paste it in all of my groups. Since this would be for my password, I'll write here password. And this would be retype password. Type password. I'll change the input type to password. And I don't want any placeholders in my password, so I'll just go ahead and delete this. Now this will be for our phone section. So phone. This would be the input type will be text. Instead of the username, we can just add a plus 000 dash 000, so the user will understand that this is a place where you have to add the phone number, although we are mentioning that in our label. And you know what, I'll just change the input type to phone number. Phone. Okay, phone. I think that should be phone. There's no phone number sitting here. So let me just add text here instead of phone. So now let me save this, save all, and you can see everything here. This looks really nice. We need to do a little bit of customization more. So after my username, which is the first form group, I'll go ahead and change this thing to email. And this would be our input type email, and in the placeholder section I can add email. Yeah, so it really looks nice now. And in place of login, we'll just change the text of the button to register. And we'll change the checkbox text, so this would be I agree to terms and condition. And then if I say this, you can see this cool text, I agree to terms and condition. The last thing we need to change in this page is the link of our beneath our register button. So what I'll do here, I'll add text if the user has already an account. So already have an account, so I'll add here text, and I will change the reference to login page, so this would be login.html, and change the text of the hyperlink, so this would be login. Now let me save this, and you can see that the page has a nice text beneath the button. So already have an account, and we have the login text here. I think we need a little bit of space. There's a little bit of space here, so I'll add a space. Now again, save all, and we have a little bit of space. So now if I click on the login, you can see the login page. If I click on the register, you can see the register page. Let me just go ahead and increase the size of the window, and yes, it really looks nice. We have a simple register and login page. And yeah, that's how you can just go ahead and create a login and registration page using Bootstrap. And I hope that you like this tutorial. I know that there are a lot of things I should have explained this, but in reality the Bootstrap is actually a very simple thing, and there is nothing much to be explained here. So let me summarize the whole process. So we have two pages, login and register page. I first created a boiler HTML, and then I added the Bootstrap link. I have also added the script or the font awesome link here, and I have also added a custom CSS file here. Then we created a container section, and inside the container we created another div that was having the flex direction of column, and it was aligning everything at the center position. And inside that div we had another div that was decorating our forms. The form had an h2 or h tag section, which was mentioning which type of page this was. So for login, this was login page, and for register, it was register page. Our login page had only two components, and the first component was the place where you want to add username, and the second component was the password. And there was an extra component that was if you want to check remember me. And final two things were the button where we'll submit our login, and the last text that was mentioning that if you don't have an account, then go ahead and register. In the registration page we had similar things, but we didn't had any font awesome link or any custom CSS file. Instead, we just increased the forms group for adding extra information so that a user can register into the website. We also use labels for adding labels to our website, and that's why the registration page looks a little bit different than our login page. And then after that, we also changed the checkbox content. So we changed it to I agree to terms and conditions, and also we changed the footer text to already have an account, and added the path to the login page. So that was all, and the extra tutorial was in this tutorial that how to add icons to your input text. So what we did here is that we used the icon tags, and we managed to place those icons inside the input fields using custom CSS, using the position of relative, position absolute, and using some top and left coordination. So yeah guys, that was all, and I hope you really enjoyed the tutorial. And I may have missed a lot of things, but I'll try to add those things in near future. Please consider liking the video if you really liked it, and if you really liked it, then go ahead and also subscribe the channel for upcoming latest contents. And if you subscribe to the channel, it will really inspire me that I should bring more content like this. Please also mention your requests in the comment sections, and stay with the channel. Thank you for seeing this video, and bye bye, see you tomorrow.